Biohazard warning. Entering contaminated zone. Transmissions jammed. Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted.
What's going on, agents? Your man Sly here, and welcome back to another Incursion guide. You know, a lot has been said about the Division in recent months, and it received a lot of hates about the past updates and how they were too small. Well, they were just that, free updates. And with the paid expansion drop just a few days ago, this is the first actual chunk of new areas and mechanics that we've seen so far. And I have to admit it, guys, although I wish there would have been some story missions added in, this DLC is pretty freaking good. It did have a rough launch the day of, with servers going a little haywire, but after it smoothed out later in the afternoon, it has been decent ever since, and I've been going non-stop since I uploaded the Underground. The weapons, all fantastic. The Underground feels fresh every time you play it, and the Incursion is starting to take shape more into the form of what I thought Incursions were actually going to be like in the first place. Dragon's Nest is the first Incursion that's actually fun to play. While Clear Sky wasn't too bad and Falcon Lost a boring mess, this time around I'm actually looking forward to doing it again once the reset comes, so that's something in itself right there. I'm also looking forward to start planning some challenge mode and heroic mode strategies here very soon, so look forward to that. And speaking of strategies, let's dive into everything that you need to know about the newest Incursion, Dragon's Nest. So this takes place in two big parts, and the stuff at the very beginning and in the middle is simply enemy encounters you do every day in the Division. So I'm only going to focus on these two big parts. If you need a guide or help getting through the first couple of enemies, then you might want to hit the Underground and loot up a bit first. So first, before you start, let's talk about what you're going to need. Now, just like every other Incursion, it's best to roll with a close range weapon and a long range on your back. If you have the new insanely overpowered G36, then you're pretty much golden at all ranges. However, the classic SMG M1A or SMG M44 combo works just as well. I was rolling with the G36 assault rifle and a paratrooper SVD equipped the entire time, and it worked just great. Alright, next let's talk about some of them skills. Now I recommend everyone to run one skill of First Aid with Overdose. There is an insane amount of fire in this Incursion, y'all, and healing is pretty critical. Next, two agents should be running support stations with Immunizer, and the other two should be running Pulse. Now if one of you doesn't need First Aid because you're so OP, or what I call healing grenades, then a flashbang will come in handy a lot, especially in the first part. So it's ultimately your choice, but with not hitting as many crits as we used to, Pulse is a huge damage increase these days, more so than it used to be. Next up, let's talk about signature skills. I recommend 2 running Security Link and 2 running Tactical Link. There aren't a lot of rushing shotgunners with cleaners, so you don't need that extra protection all the time. But what you will need is a lot more damage to take down some extremely tanky enemies. I mean, they have armor for days. Pulse with Tactical Link does just that. Now, of course, if you're undergeared or you're carrying someone through, then Security Link for the whole team would be a safer option. Now, if I can say one recommendation that you guys would actually take to heart, 2 agents wear Final Measure or have high exotic damage resilience. Like I said before, this Incursion is one big flame pit, and there is a time where the entire floor will be on fire and you can't escape it, and 2 of you will have to run out of cover while on fire. So 2-piece Final Measure is an absolute lifesaver in this Incursion. Now if all 4 of you want to wear it, then absolutely go for it. It's going to help you immensely. If not, it might be a better idea for everyone to run all Security Link for the added protection as well. Alright, now that you're set up, make your way into this until you get to the rooftop. This is where you're going to have to engage in your first real fight. Sneak up on the enemies and then take them all out. Once you do that, you'll see a bunch of doors start to light up and flash on and off. I'd split up into 2 teams, 2 left and 2 right, and kill any enemy tech that you see, or at least try to get them first. Those nasty RC cars will be all over the place if you don't have control over those techs. So once you eliminate that wave of enemy, group back together and head up towards this far side of the balcony on the right hand side of the map and stay on there, the place you see me at right here. 4 large tanky cleaner guys are going to spawn along with a bunch of techs that launch those stupid RC cars. 2 of these tanks will have machine guns that will mow you down pretty quickly, and 1 spawns right underneath you. So as soon as you see him, pop your Pulse and a Tactical Link, and as a team, destroy this guy as fast as you can. If you have enough firepower, have 3 focus on the big guy and 1 look out for cars and techs. After the first guy is down, the others will be slowly creeping up behind him, and they'll be in the middle working their way up the ramp towards you. Try to stall them as much as possible. Freeze them in place with shot grenades or sticky bombs, and get in as much damage as you can. Once they start getting within firing distance, that is if the flamethrower can get close to you, go ahead and take off and run to the far right side of the balcony and work your way down to this area you see right here. Go ahead and set up. Get in as much damage as possible, and this is where you're going to have to watch for those crazy RC cars and for these techs. Now these techs will keep spawning over and over. Killing a few will delay it, but they will never completely go away. The trick is to clear out enough techs to get a few seconds to do DPS on the bosses. That is your main goal here. Immunizers are awesome, and it keeps your health topped up while there's no fire around. By the way, fire, it's going to be here regardless. You can't help that, but the immunizers will stop you from doing that stupid fire dance where you can't shoot or heal up. Pop your first aid one at a time and share it with everyone. String them along back to back so that by the time the fourth one is done, you're going to have another one not too long after that. Use your damage links when you can, and don't forget about incendiary bullets and your water. Incendiary bullets with pulse and tactical link will put these guys down pretty damn quick. Now if they start to get too close, make your way towards the back of the area where you entered, but stay down here in the pit. Then go ahead and set up behind this cover. This is far enough away to where you should be able to finish everyone off by the time they get close enough. Alright, so after the bosses are dead, pick off the leftovers, grab your loot, and pat yourself on the back, guys, because honestly, this is the hardest part of the incursion. If you got this, then you got the next part easily. So, after snaking your way through a building and a few more waves of enemies, you'll start up in this room right here. Now, this is going to be the final boss encounter. There's a fire truck in the back, rigged with napalm canisters and a large flamethrower. The good thing is, this is a checkpoint, so this box right here refills everything if you happen to wipe. Ammo, medkits, the works. And here is where 2 agents with final measure will be called to perform. If you look out to the floor, you will see panels with a throw switch on them. They look exactly like the ones in this small room over to the left, but they are separate. One is on the left side of the room, the other is on the right hand side of the room. When prompted, one of you have to run to the left, one of you have to run to the right, and both of you have to switch on at the exact same time. If you don't get it in time, it won't accept it, and you'll have to try it again, all while getting shot at with the floor on fire. Or if it's not on fire, it soon will be. So, once your skill's up, to start it, all you have to do is activate these 2 switches. Step back, once the floor blows up, hop down, but whatever you do, make sure you jump down on the right-hand side of this hole. If you jump down on the left-hand side, like you can see right here, like my buddy, you'll get stuck and you're going to have to end up killing yourself, wiping to start over. It sucks, so take your time and jump down one by one on the right-hand side only. And so this is fairly easy if you equipped all the skills I mentioned earlier. All you're going to do, guys, is bunch up right here behind this cover, and you won't be leaving this spot. Enemies will keep spawning on the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. They're going to go to the sides, and all you have to do is keep them at bay. Keep shooting them, and when you see the fire truck's area of effect marker appear, throw down an immunizer, and just like outside when fighting the 4 horsemen, use your first aid healing grenades one at a time. Everybody should be benefiting from one first aid use. Once it wears off and everyone has about a quarter of their health taken off, or 3/4 full, pop another and heal up. Keep chaining them like this all while fighting, and you will make it through no problem. Throw down immunizer every time you have it from the first time you see fire. So, like I said earlier, what you're trying to do here is activate 2 switches at the same time. One on the left, like where you see me run to, and another is on the right-hand side opposite of my switch. Every time you successfully engage the switches, a large water tank overhead moves closer to the fire truck. Each switch advances the tank just a little bit further. You will see the switches because they will have prompts on when you can activate them. Those prompts will also help you show their location. But still, it's still kind of hard when there's fire all over the place, so make sure you keep watch for those. The main thing is to know who is going to go left and who is going to go right. Once you're at your console, count it down so each of you trigger it at the same time. Once you see the switch turn green, head back, fight off more fire and more enemies. Do that 3 more times, and guys, that is all she wrote. It's really not that hard of an incursion. It's fun, engaging, and that fire on challenging is absolutely no joke. As long as you guys use your first aid in a smart way, prioritize your enemies, you will have no problem. And after you see how much less damage you take compared to your other friends who didn't have final measure, you will be glad you took my advice and wore it. Now, those RC cars only took my health down by 1.5 bars because I had final measure on, whereas my friends who weren't wearing final measure were killed outright. And while in the fire, it didn't faze me that much, but when getting shot at and constantly losing health, it can get uncontrollable, so make sure you guys watch out for those enemies. But yeah, that's it guys. If you survive the first encounter, then you absolutely got this in the bag. It's just a matter of time. I wish everyone out there good luck, and if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. The community here is smarter than I am, so asking questions here is a great way to get the best answer. So yeah, I'm out, agents. As always, good luck, and if you want to stay up to date on everything The Division or Destiny, follow me on Twitter at SlyNation. It's the best place to keep up to speed on anything Division or gaming in general. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting the smaller YouTuber. I could not do this without you guys, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. Enjoy the underground, keep out for more vids coming from SlyNation here very soon, but until then, this is your boy Sly. Done, gone, out.
Ammo inbound. Zone B secure.